Jessi here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I have my expense tracking for the week of March 5th through 11th. This is going to be everything that we spent during the last 7 days. And it's another episode of Overspending with Jessi, for sure. We did a lot of eating out. We spent a lot on groceries. If you're not new here, you've heard this song and dance before. I was just talking to my husband last night about how we have got to get our spending under control. This time last year, we got an income increase. We've definitely been experiencing the old lifestyle creep. That in combination with just inflation, we're spending a ton of money in these categories. And week after week, it's becoming clearer and clearer that if we don't do something about it, it's just gonna keep going up and up and up. So for now, we're just gonna kind of get into everything I spent. But definitely something I'm already thinking about for April is how we can spend less in those categories, eating out and groceries. For now, I'm just going to open up my budget planner here. This is a big size happy planner, but really it's just the cover and the discs. All of the things inside, for the most part, are my own budget printables. So I make my own printables. They're 8.5 by 11 size. They are available as membership perks for the categories of my membership that say budget in the title. If you click the join button below this video, you can take a look at all of that and decide if that's something you are interested in. For now, I'm just kind of turning to March. I'm gonna zoom you guys in. This is the pattern for March. I do a different pattern every month, and I'm just going to flip to an expense tracker so we can get started tracking all of the spending. There we go. So this was last week. We had a big spend week last week. The first and second weeks of the month are always my biggest spend weeks. That's when all of our bills come out. So that plays a part in it, but also just like we're overspending. It just is a fact. And not great. Even if we can afford it, that money would be better spent to take care of our goals. So something I'm thinking about already, like I said, for April. For now though, let's get back to focusing on March. So as I said, we're tracking for March 5th through 11th, and this pen is out of ink. I love these Parku erasable pens, but they do dry up pretty quick. Luckily, they're very affordable. I love that I can erase any mistakes I make without having to write in pencil. I hate writing in pencil, so I love the Parku pens for that. But like I said, they do dry out pretty quick. So March 5th through the 11th. If you're not familiar with my channel and how I budget, we do a monthly budget, but then we kind of check in every single week, and our week goes from Tuesday to Monday because we get paid on Tuesdays. So I start out my week on Tuesday, we spend all the way through until Monday, and then a new week starts the following Tuesday when we get paid. So let's go ahead and start writing down everything for the 5th. Starting out with our golf cart. We made a golf cart payment. That is one of our debts. I categorize this as bills. I like to break my transactions down into categories, and I also like to use highlighters to color code everything. I just like to do it that way. I feel like it makes it a little bit easier to keep track of everything, and it makes it just kind of more aesthetically pleasing. Makes the whole process a little bit more fun, I guess. If it's fun, you'll do it, and if it's a chore, you'll procrastinate it. So, or at least I will. I shouldn't speak for you. I'll speak for me. I will definitely procrastinate it unless it's like a decently fun experience. So the amount that I spent there was $150. Also on the 5th, we had some more bills come out. So we had Michigan Gas, which is the gas for our home. Again, the category is bills. That was $55. And I like to track all of my expenses, keep track of everything we spent, so that I can then use this worksheet to help me fill in my actual monthly budget worksheet, or rather my hybrid budget worksheet, where I keep track of all of my spending for the month. You will see that kind of budget check-in video tomorrow. If you're watching this on the day it goes live, I do the expense tracking first, and then I do the budget check-in. All right, so also on the 5th, I paid DTE, which is our electric bill. So again, that category is bills, and this amount was $212.11. Both of our utility bills here, both gas and electric, are on budget billing plans, which means they take our whole yearly amount that we used, divided by 12, and give us like a monthly budget that the bill will be every single month. At the end of the year, they recalculate that, and if our usage was more than what we pay the difference. If it was less, then we get a credit, but also our budget billing for the following year goes down. So this is what it's been for the last year or so. I think one of these, the cycle starts over in October and the other is in June or July. So that's probably too much information, but there you go. On the 5th as well, my husband went to Dollar General to pick up something that we needed for dinner. My husband has been doing all of the cooking, or maybe like 85% of the cooking for our family meals, which I love. What I don't love is that he doesn't necessarily plan things ahead of time or think more than a day or two at a time. So there's a lot of times that it's like 5 o'clock and it's almost time for dinner, and he's just kind of thinking about what he wants to make. So it makes grocery shopping a little bit more difficult. He'll have like a general idea of what he wants to make, but it's a lot less structured than what I would do when I was meal planning. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining because it means that I don't have to cook, but sometimes it means he's running to the store to grab something that he needs, or he'll change his mind at the last minute, want to make something different. So it's been making it a little bit more difficult to navigate the grocery budget, which I think is part of the reason that we've been overspending. But also just like, we like a lot of convenience items, lots of beverages and stuff, and all of that is super expensive. Anyways, short story turned very long. He went to Dollar General to grab something that we needed for dinner, and it was $7.75. All right, on the 5th as well, we had our car insurance come out. We have lots of cars. So we have lots of cars and we have high insurance premiums. So don't gasp when you see this number. It's categorized as a bill. So bills, $504.81. Okay. All right. Next up, we have our camper payment. That was on the, oh, nope, I'm skipping ahead. Trying to skip ahead by a day. So on the 6th, we did our first round of grocery shopping for the week. What we have been doing is doing sort of like a midweek smaller shop, and then at the week's end, we do a more thorough shop to get us through. Like the end of the week, we go shopping for the following week. We buy everything we think we need, and then by like Wednesday, we've run out of produce or we need a couple more things, so then we place a smaller trip. So this was the smaller of the two trips, the two main trips. There were quite a few little trips in between as well. Like I said, with my husband doing the cooking, things have been a little bit different around here, but I appreciate it that he's taken on that responsibility. So this is grocery, and the amount we spent was $107.81. We also ran to Dollar Tree on the 6th. This was myself and my son. I picked him up from a practice, and he wanted a snack of some sort that he could get at Dollar Tree, so he asked if I could take him there. So again, this came out of our grocery budget, and it was $15.15. Clearly, we bought more than just a snack at the Dollar Tree, because Dollar Tree likes to tell you what to buy. All right, on the 7th, we made our camper payment. So this category is, again, bills. And we paid $200. Also, on the 7th, my husband went to Subway to grab himself some lunch. So we will categorize this as eating out. And he spent $12 with 5 cents. I had a YouTube membership come out on the 7th as well. I like to support some of my fellow creators. And this comes out of the auto pay category. So if you've been around, I'm going to explain this again. You're going to probably be tired of hearing it, but just in case there's someone new watching. We have a lot of little transactions, little memberships, $2 here, $10 there. Rather than have them all listed out in my budget as separate line items, I lump them all together into one line item called auto pay, and then I just check in with it each week using my expense tracker to see how much of that budget we have spent. My apologies, that's my phone. I'm going to go ahead and turn the sound off so that we are not interrupted. All right, on the 7th as well, we had my husband's Audible subscription come out. That is also one of those auto pay bills here, and that's $16.95. On the 8th, I had a newspaper subscription come out, and this was a mistake on my part. I did not even remember doing this. Apparently, at some point, I signed up for a free trial with one of our local newspapers to read an article online. And it was one of these things where you could use it free for 6 months, and then after that it was going to be a charge. And apparently I did this and totally forgot. So this came out, it was $14.99. I have since called and canceled this. Like I said, I didn't even have any recollection of doing it. I had to Google the charge that popped up on my credit card to figure out what it even was. So this was my bad. This was my stupid tax for not paying better attention. $14.99. So that's not really in my budget in terms of this auto pay section. I'm hoping that it won't put me over budget in that category. I do have some wiggle room there, but yeah, that was my bad. And then something new I signed up for is Weight Watchers. So if you've been around my channel for a while, you know I had a lot of success on Weight Watchers in the past. I've been on a weight loss journey trying to count calories for the last, I don't know what, like 6 months or something. It's been a struggle, been up and down and up and down. So I decided to give Weight Watchers another go. And so I signed up. It's going to be $11 a month for the next year. I thought that was relatively reasonable. There was a promotion going on, so I went ahead and signed up. That's coming out of auto pay as well. So again, hopefully that auto pay line item doesn't end up over budget. On the 8th, we went to McDonald's. So that would be eating out. And we spent $22.03. Then on the 9th, we did more grocery shopping, our kind of bigger grocery trip, if you will. So Walmart again. We love to make use of that Walmart delivery service. So yeah, grocery. And that was $161.50. So not bad. I was thinking at this point in the week when we did our second grocery trip, okay, not bad. It's still a lot of spending, but I try to aim for around $300 a week. And that would have kept us kind of well within our range for the week. But alas, that's not all of the shopping that we did. So, on the 10th, my husband took Austin and some of his friends after a soccer game to Dairy Queen. And it was our treat. So this is Eat Out. And he spent $44.22. It was a big group of teenage boys. So that was fun for them. Also on the 10th, we got Taco Bell. And I believe that was, yeah, this was my boys getting takeout from Taco Bell while my husband and I went out for a double date night with our friends. So $27.53 is what they spent for the two of them. And then my husband and I went to Texas Roadhouse with our friends. In case this is confusing with the dates, the Dairy Queen transaction happened at like 12:30 a.m. after a late night soccer game. So it's the 10th, but this was before the dinner that we had. It's not like he took them to Dairy Queen before dinner, if that needed an explanation. Or it didn't. I like to over-explain things. All right, so that's eating out. And we spent $118.43, and it was such a nice time. It wasn't originally in the plan. So when I wrote my budget for March, I didn't know we were doing this, but I didn't want to say no to that opportunity. We rarely get to see our friends anymore, so we went, we enjoyed it. I don't regret that for a second. Okay, on the 10th, we had some Amazon spending, a couple of Amazon transactions. I couldn't tell you what we bought at this point. I am famous for just clicking the buy button. That's something I need to get under control as well. $18.01 for that transaction, and then we had another transaction for $33.91, and those both came out of our spending category. Also, we ordered some, again, Amazon groceries. We ordered some taco seasoning from our favorite brand. There was like a big bundle that was on sale through Amazon. And so we stocked up on our favorite taco seasoning, and that was $17.91, which seems ridiculous for taco seasoning, I realize, but it's our favorite. And one more Amazon transaction. I don't think these were actually all on the same day. I think I just wrote them down on the same day. So these are probably throughout the week and not all like in one day back to back to back to back, but it's just how I've written it down on my rough draft here. So again, spending, I don't know what I bought. Hopefully whatever it was, I enjoyed it. $21.19 for that one. All right, then on the 11th, my husband went to a little local market because he decided he didn't want to make what we had on his kind of loose meal plan for dinner. He wanted chicken instead, so he went to buy the chicken, and he picked up a couple other things. See where I'm going with this? $33.88 for that. And then last but not least, he went to Circle K during the day. No idea what he bought. He spent $1.05. And that was spending. Okay, so I believe that's everything. I'm just going to go really quickly over my rough draft, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so it looks like here this should have been $17.94. This is why I always double check, because while I'm trying to film and write numbers and deal with everything, I often mess up. All right, so I think that is everything. So now we get to do the fun part, which is color code everything and head everything up and face the music there. So I don't know, maybe that's not your idea of fun, but let's start with bills. So for bills, I'm going to use this blue highlighter. You can see it's labeled there with bills. I used to be much more organized and had a specific color every week for specific categories, and past me was better at budgeting than current me, but I'm trying to get back to it. So we started with the golf cart, which was $150, so I'm just going to highlight as I go. Then $55 for Michigan gas. $212.11 for DTE. $504.81 for car insurance. $200 for our camper. And if I'm not mistaken, that is all of the bills. So down here, we'll just put a little spot for a total. I apologize if you can hear the click-clack of Maple's paws. She has joined us here in the kitchen where I'm filming this. So that's bills, and we have a total of $1,121 with 92 cents. Okay. Lots of bills, but like I said, most of my bills come out in the first and second weeks of the month, so that's expected. All right, next up we will do groceries. And for groceries, I'm going to use this kind of minty color. Okay, so we'll start with Dollar General for $7.75 plus $107.81 plus $15.15 plus $161.50. Maple, go lay down. Plus $17.94 plus $33.88. So yeah, $344.03, and I like to keep it around $300 every week. So not so great this week. If we had stuck to just our 2 main shopping trips, we would have been under that 300, but because we did all of these little grocery trip runs, it put us a little bit over, and I kind of feel like our grocery budget is already pretty high, so going over is not good. I think next week what I will do is when we do our main shopping for the week, I will try to spend a little bit less so we have more in reserve in case there's something that comes up that my husband wants to go and buy. Like I said, I'm not complaining about him at all because I appreciate so much that he's taken on the burden of cooking. It's just I've got to shift the way I do things a little bit to accommodate his style, right? Okay, so for eating out, I'm going to do this yellow color. Apparently this at one point was my grocery color, but we're using it for eating out today. So $12.05 plus $22.03 plus $44.22 plus $27.53 plus $118.43 is $224.26. So yeah, that's a pretty large total for just a week, but we did have that special occasion and we treated some of Austin's friends to Dairy Queen, so again, I don't really regret that, But I'm gonna have to keep that in mind moving forward, that since we spent so much this week, we'll have less to spend for the rest of the month. And again, this is one of those categories that I feel like our budget is already high to begin with, so going over is really not good. Okay, for auto pay, let's do this red color, which I think in the past I've used as my debt color, but again, it's fine. We're just making sure they're all the same color, doesn't matter which color. So auto pay, $4.99 plus $16.95 plus $14.99 plus 11 is $47.93 for auto pay. All right, and then the last category that we have is spending. So I will use this purpley color for it. And this one I'm kind of afraid to see what the cost is, because I think we were already like over budget for spending. Oh no, this one's running out. $18.01 plus $33.91 plus $21.19 plus $105. $74.16 for spending this week. And yeah, I think this highlighter's just about done. I actually found this stash of highlighters when I was rearranging my bedroom a little bit. I had a big stash of mild liners that I had separate from my other like pens and markers. So it's been a while since I used these. I'm honestly surprised that's the only one that's kind of dried up. So this was spending. I've used other mild liners, but these specific colors I haven't used in a while. $74.16. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am so sorry. I just realized you couldn't see some of this. Oh no. I'm so bummed. I'm sorry if the last like 15 minutes of this video has just been useless because you could hear me but not see me. I'm not gonna refilm it. Hopefully it's okay. I apologize. I will try to do better about that in the future. I forgot that I had zoomed in some. And I haven't looked at the camera in a while, which is always a mistake. Always a mistake. All right, let's add it up and see what the damage is. So $1121.92 plus $334.03 plus $224.26 plus $47.93 plus $74.16, $1802.30 is our total. So there we go. We have faced the music. We've taken a look at all of the overspending. Now we know. It's better to know than not know. I always say that it's best to check in with your budget every week, because if you wait till the end of the month, you're for sure going to overspend. So now we know, and we can better prepare for the rest of the month. I am going to use this expense tracker to fill in my hybrid budget, which is right here. So that will be the next video you see me checking in for week 2, and I will see you then. Make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss it. Talk to you later. Bye.